Stay for our regular meeting. Actually, Lisa Johnson, I would appreciate it, our Director of Real Property Tax. If you would lead us in the pledge, I would appreciate it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is a quick note to Carl Rode. Carl, I know you lectured to people in Putnam County about there's no comment after under God, but it seems like whenever I go to anywhere else in the country, no one else knows that. So we're working on it. We're working on it. Okay, roll call, please.
District number 1, Legislator Scucciamara.
Still here.
District 2, Legislator Albano.
Present.
District 4, Legislator Nasarino.
Present.
District 5, Legislator Albano.
Present.
District 6, Legislator Gross.
Present.
District 7, Legislator Castellano.
Present.
District 8, Legislator LeBeau.
Present.
District 9, Legislator DeCarlo. District 3, Chairman Allen.
Here. Okay, proclamations. We're going to have one here recognizing September as National Recovery Month. And Legislator Oliverio, as Chairman of the Health Committee, I asked him to do this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Joe DiMarzo, Kristen.
In America, there are approximately 2 million young people, the age of 12 to about 18, that receive special services due to drug addiction, alcoholism, substance abuse. And there are over 31 million individuals, 18 and older, who have received some type of mental health services, a lot of them having to do, again, with addictions, alcohol, or drugs. We want to recognize the importance of the part and the common ground that all these individuals, the young people, the adults have, and that is recovery is only successful when those around the individual recovering gives them support. And Joe and the individuals from our Department of Social Services have played a great part in ensuring that our residents in this county follow that path of recovery, straight and narrow and true. And we want to recognize National Recovery Month of September 2013, for the importance that it has for our constituents and many of our loved ones. You can't break addiction just by wishing it to go away. Everybody's involved in that. I see it every day at our school, over in Putnam Valley as a high school assistant principal. I see it in town. I see it in the county as a legislator. It's a tough road to hoe, and unless you have the proper support, which our Department of Social Service constantly offers, it doesn't work. And we just want to recognize the importance of recovery and the sustainability of that recovery. And through our Putnam County Communities That Care Coalition, which all these individuals are involved in, we enhance that possibility and that success of recovery by the proper support. And Joe, your department and ladies, the work that you do, I can't put a price on it, and I can't commend it enough. You're second to none, and you bring us great pride and great support, especially to these individuals. Many families are touched by addictions and mental distress, and it's your support that gets them through. And we just want to award this on behalf of the county executive and the legislature. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
A few words, please.
Yes, we just want to thank the county executive and the legislature for passing this proclamation. As far as we know, this is the only proclamation in the state out of all the counties that have passed this. So it means a lot that Recovery Month is being honored in our county, especially because we have so many people in treatment, both youth and adults. So this helps to fight the stigma of being in recovery or going towards recovery. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Sam. Okay, next, Dr. Beals, Commissioner of Health, has a short presentation to show us on a movie called Contagion. We do have zombies in Putnam County, and we're concerned. We're trying to figure out how to control them, so Dr. Beals.
Thank you for the introduction. It's not really a presentation, other than just to remind everyone in the whole community that this is Emergency Preparation Month. September 20th at 6:30, Friday, the Health Department and the BES, Bureau of Emergency Services, is sponsoring an event where we hope to get information out to the public about being prepared. You know, the storm season's coming, but just being a little prepared. We will be having demonstrations of, first of all, there'll be a film with popcorn. It's a very entertaining film, followed by a very, very brief panel discussion and opening to questions so people can understand just exactly what BES and the health department does to prepare for just any kind of eventuality. And on top of it, there will be demonstrations and sampling of food that you can prepare, a gourmet meal, even when the lights go out. So that will be present, and there will also be opportunity to get prank radios, a raffle. There will also be flashlights, headlights, and the classic go-bed. Plus, there also will be a demonstration, not a demonstration, but some information about the very, very valuable MRC seeking additional volunteers from all members of our community to participate and help in the event of any kind of emergency. So I really encourage you. We're trying to make it a fun event. I think it will be. And please come out. For all ages, should be a very fun evening.
Now, can we purchase one of the crank radios through the health department, or do you have any?
Well, we have information that will be distributed. If you're not so fortunate as to win one of the raffles, you can then call and we've negotiated a very reduced deal. And you can mention my name.
What's your name?
Thank you, Dr. Beals.
Thank you.
So for the chair, Legislator LeBlue, I was at an emergency services meeting on disaster preparedness a week and a half ago, and 2 crack radios were passed around. One's in the $30 range, one's in the $50 range, and what they can do, an opportunity, and they'll be there, I think, that evening as well.
Oh, great. We know that very important when the lights go out.
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, Dr. Beals, thank you very much. So now, next, the approval of minutes from the regular meeting of August 7, 2013. Any conflict? Everyone good? Okay. Correspondence, County Auditor. Item number 4A. There was some correspondence. It was,
It's available from County Auditor,
yeah, it was under $25,000, so it was under Michelle's purview to just pass this without our approval. So any discussion, anything with anyone? Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 5, pre-filed resolutions. I talked to my colleagues here tonight, and Carl Albano has to leave early, and I asked if we can move the Physical Services Committee up as our first on our agenda. So 5H, I represent Carl Albano from the town of the Village of Carmel. Carl, it's your show.
Thank you, Chairman Othman, on behalf of the Physical Services Committee, on behalf of the legislature. Mr. Tomorrow. 5H, approval of Putnam County Veterans Residence Lease Agreement renewals. Any questions on that?
Any discussion, anything?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the sale of certain properties pursuant to Chapter 31 of the Putnam County Code. These are the properties we've decided to list with realtors, and the good news is we've come close to the numbers that we were anticipating. So this looks like it's moving along in the right direction. This is the first group of properties that we're in contract, and this is the okay to move them along.
Discussion?
Questions?
And,
All in favor?
oh, no.
5J, approval conveyance of tax map 83.67-1-16 and 17, town of Putnam Valley. This is a small piece of property that's being conveyed to a neighbor. Any questions?
All in favor?
Aye.
5K, approval of fund transfer, Commissioner of Finance, Putnam Golf Course contracts. What this is we have monies allocated to pay for salaries, and we've shifted the same amount of monies to pay for contracts to continue the same work to keep everything moving. Comments?
Discussion?
Yes, thank
All right,
you.
Chairman.
I want to, through the chair, Bill Carlin, you're here? I want to thank you for providing those contracts. We had requested that, and we did receive them, and I want to thank you for that in a timely manner, enough time for us to at least for me to review it. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Legislator Lou?
At committee, I brought up the fact that we had paid out salaries on these contracts that we had not seen. I have a few additional questions. I wanted to ask Bill if I could, he's here. I see that there's still money in the line. I would ask to push this over to the next month if we could table it, because I'm looking for, I have additional questions in terms of expenditures. There was an interior designer hired, architect, advertising costs, the cost of the highway department, which has been working there for 4 months. So I would
Do you want to make a motion, Jeannie?
Yeah, we'll discuss
Do you want a
it
second
first
for
to
this?
see if anybody, if we can push it over.
What's the motion?
Jeannie would like to table this till next
The motion is
month?
to table it to next month for additional information. I see that there's still $208,000 in the line, so it's not going to jam anybody up to put it in that.
For 1 month?
Okay.
I'll second it.
You'll second it?
Until we get the additional information.
All right, Diane, roll call vote, please. The vote is on to table this, Barbara?
I'm just wondering, can I ask Bill, is this gonna
I would have to
impede
take a look,
anything?
but I think we were hitting a deadline now. If we're not there, we're gonna be close. And what are we talking about, another month, another 2 months?
No, next month to get the additional information.
But if we could pass it and then still get you the information.
No, because this is in reverse.
Okay, we have Sandy seconded, roll call vote, please.
Legislator Albano?
No.
Legislator Castellano?
No.
Legislator DeCarlo? Legislator Gross?
No.
Legislator LeBeau?
Yes.
Legislator Nasarino?
No.
Legislator Oliverio?
Because of concern, I say yes.
Legislator Scuccinero?
No.
Chairman Ahmad?
No.
Motion fails.
Thank you.
Okay, now, on the motion of approving item 5K, we need a roll call vote here too, Madam.
Legislator Albano?
Yes.
Legislator Castellano?
Yes.
Legislator DeCarlo? Legislator Gross?
Yes.
Legislator LeBeau?
No.
Legislator Nasarino?
Yes.
Legislator Oliverio?
Well, we didn't get the extension, but I did review the contract. Yes on this.
Legislator Scuccinero?
Yes.
Chairman Ahmad?
Yes.
Motion carries.
5L, approval acceptance amendment of the snow and ice agreement. This is continuing the agreement that's already in place. Any questions?
Any discussion?
These are easy ones.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 5M, approval, budgetary amendment, Commission of Highways, Facilities, Snow and Ice Agreement. It's amended agreement to allow some more dollars for the snow and ice removal.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
5N, approval grant application, Highways and Facilities Transportation Enhancement Program, TEP.
Question?
Discussion, Legislator LeBeau.
Thank you. Through the chair. There's 2 parts to this. One is the Morningthorpe Bridge conversion to a pedestrian bridge. You're asking for a grant. The second is something that I brought up during the committee, and that's the vegetation plan. The way this resolution is written, the grant, which has a matching portion of 20%, is predicated on an agreement with DEP for Lake Lenita on property to which we don't own. So I'm asking if maybe we can split the question, because I won't be able to vote in favor of this evening.
We can. Any problem there, Sam, Glenn?
Any request to split can be split.
That's fine with me. So we'll split the question.
Richard, if I could, I'm sorry, just add one more thing, because I don't know if all my colleagues understand. We're applying for a grant, and it's based on a plan that involves DEP, vegetation plan that is, relates to Lake Oneida. We don't have approval from DEP.
A quick, Clem, for your advice here. We're just asking for permission to apply for the grant. Am I correct with that? And we're not approving the grant. It was agreed a long time ago that we would ask.
The grant application has been submitted because of the time we are approving the authorizing that.
And we don't have to accept the grant.
And we have no idea what they're going to do.
We're going to get it, right?
All right, Sam and
Yeah,
then Carl.
we have a safe harmless clause here, Dee, if you take a look at it. The second whereas, should the project or projects be selected by the DEP reviewing committee, Putnam County then need to commit to 20% matching funds, which states that the only way they'll select it is if we have the go-ahead from the DEC and all other parties involved. So I think just for the sake of movement on this, that we should just pass it. It doesn't mean we have it. It means that at least the application is in and all the paperwork and stuff can follow.
Legislator Albano?
Yes, and you pretty much said what I was going to say. Basically, the agreement with the DEP is like in the 11th hour. We're 95% there. There's a couple of technical points that don't seem like they're going to be roadblocks. I'd hate to push a grant off or lose it. We're talking $400,000 coming back to things in the community, so I'd like to see it move along.
Yeah.
And in the end, we could change our minds. If it doesn't work, then the ball's in our court.
Andrew Nigro, the Assistant County Attorney.
Respectfully, through the chair, it's my understanding that Deputy County Executive Walker, who's not here right now, made a representation at the last Fiscal Services Committee that the vegetation management plan was informally approved, and there was an agreement between the county and DEP.
It was.
Jeannie, through the chair, if you
Through
can
the
talk.
chair, it was actually Commissioner Pena that said that there was an agreement, and then he was corrected by, I believe, Attorney Adrian Lotto.
So you'd not like to apply for this grant, is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is I'm questioning the process. I'm going to vote no, but it looks like we have the votes here tonight, so
Okay,
you don't have to split the question.
okay. Andrew, why are we planting poison oak? All right. We need a roll call vote, please.
Keep them out of the way. Legislator Albano?
Yes.
Legislator Castellano?
Yes.
Legislator DeCarlo? Legislator Gross?
Yes.
Legislator LeBeau?
No, well, no.
Legislator Nasarino?
Yes.
Legislator Oliverio?
Yes.
Legislator Scuccinaro?
Yes.
Chairman Ott?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, Carl, you have to go. You anger management class?
Yes.
Okay, now we go back to the Health, Social, Educational, and Environmental Committee, led by Chairman Sam Oliverio from Hudson Valley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I lost all my paperwork. Oh, man. Okay. Well, we're going to move a budgetary amendment. I'm sorry. On behalf of the Health, Social, Education, Environmental Committee, legislators DeCarlo and Scuccinaro, and myself, I want to move forward. Here we go. Budgetary amendment from the Health Department, CAC Child Fatality Prevention Program. There's no fiscal impact. We're moving one line to the other, and I ask that this be approved.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next, we have another approval of budgetary amendment from the Health Department, Early Intervention Billing and Revenue Collection. Again, there's no fiscal impact. We're moving revenues around.
Discussion? In favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, the Personnel Committee, Chairman DeCarlo is not here tonight, so I'm asking Committee Member Ginny Nasarino from the town of Patterson to please chair tonight.
Good evening. On behalf of Chairman Anthony DeCarlo, myself, and Legislator Gross, I would like to move 5C, approval of transfer Department of Social Service for a temporary line. This is to provide a part-time protective service caseworker to cover maternity leave. Again, this is moving money around, there's no fiscal impact.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
The next item is approval of confirmation and appointment of Director of Real Property Services, Lisa Johnson. It's with pleasure that I move this forward.
Discussion.
Discussion. Lisa, I apologize. I've held with a very strong formula of only approving individuals from the county. You do a great job. You deserve the position. I'm going to abstain. I don't want a no vote on the record of this vote, but I am going to abstain, and that's the reason why I'm abstaining. So it's more in principle than anything else, but certainly you have shown yourself to be the head of that department, second to none, so congratulations.
Absolutely, and I would just like to make mention that this is for a 6-year term beginning October 1st, 2013.
Discussion. Legislator LeBeau.
Unfortunately, I will be doing the same thing. I'll be abstaining, not because of anything to do with Lisa. She's a consummate professional. It's a pleasure to work with her.
I'd like to quickly say that I did watch Sam and Jeannie very closely on what they're going to do here, because you did held true to your programs as you do it. Lisa's a native daughter of Putnam County. She attended Brewster schools. She knows what she's doing, and I'm really happy and proud to be part of her appointment. She's a great person, and so God bless you, Lisa. Roger, you had her as a student, right?
As a student, she was asked.
Roger just got out of college.
I was only 12 years old when I had her. She was excellent, very conscientious, and she does her homework, so I'm very proud to support her for this position.
Any further discussion?
If
I'm
I
sorry,
could,
Joe?
I just want to make a comment for county workers everywhere, since I happen to be one of them and I work for another county, neighboring county. A lot of times you got to go outside of the county to get the best people to serve Putnam County. And this is one of those occasions. She's done a great job, and she should have this job.
She should have the job, but if I can, through the chair. I understand, Joe, but I've made it a point that I feel very strongly about opening and finding individuals who are vested through their taxation and through their ability to vote here in the county. It's important. I feel that's my own personal thing, and I know that.
That's fine, that's your personal thing.
But that is why I'm not doing no vote as I did on the other.
I understand. My point is, you want to get the best people to serve Putnam County, and on occasion, you're going to have to go outside of Putnam County. And I just want to put that on the record as well.
Actually, Lisa was a Fulchetti before she got married.
I know that.
And the Fulchettis lived in Putnam County before 1812, and we were part of Dutchess County, so that's how I can reason this way. Okay, I'll bring it to a roll call vote, please.
Legislator Albano. Oh, he's gone. Legislator Castellano.
In favor? Yes.
Legislator DeCarlo. Legislator Gross.
Yes.
Legislator LeBeau.
Abstain.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Oliverio.
Abstain.
Legislator Scuchamero.
Yes.
Chairman Ott.
Yes. Okay, next, the Rules Enactments Intergovernmental Relations Committee, led by Chairman Nasarino.
On behalf of legislators Castellano and DeCarlo, I would like to move forward with 5E, approval of local law to amend Chapter 135 / the Code of Putnam County entitled Contractors. As this pertains to Mow and Blow, legislator Oliverio brought this to our attention at the Rules Committee. One of his constituents had called and felt that it was burdensome to some of the fees that are incumbent upon them in Putnam County, one being the bond that they have to put up. So we checked with legal to see if we could seek some relief for these small businessmen, and it turned out that we can, so we have modified the law to reflect that.
Thank you.
Discussion?
Question through the chair. So we're removing the requirement to carry a $25,000 bond?
The bond.
The bond,
yes.
the bond itself.
But the
yes.
registration is still.
The registration is still in
For
town.
the lawnmowers.
Yes.
It's very hard to get for certain people.
Yes, I know it is, but to communicate so the public understands what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
5 out, right?
We have to vote on it.
Yep, I got it. Okay.
I'm sorry, did we vote on
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Dean.
that's what-
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm right. Discussion, any more discussion?
it? All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The next item is approval of local law to amend Chapter 190 of the Code of Putnam entitled Plumbing and Mechanical Trades. Again, this revision is to reflect taking out the helper segment of the local law. The helpers were put in for the mechanical and plumbing trades and also the electrical trades, but upon reviewing this at Chairman Othmer's request, we realized that the helper is not necessary because it's not accrued as it would be in a career path for the electricians. So therefore, to give the contractors a little bit more flexibility, so we have amended the law to take out the helpers where applicable.
I have discussion. Anyone else?
Yeah, no, I'm not quite sure. I'm looking at this here. So we're
Should I
minimizing.
speak first and then ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, this, I actually requested this. I've been working on this for 3 years, and then once we delved into the contractors laws that the county has been approving for the last few years, there were a lot of contradictions, and they were not consistent. What was passed for one trade went through for all 3 trades, and if we were challenged legally, we would not be able to defend ourselves as a county. And as a licensed contractor, and I contracted before we needed any licenses in this county, there were certain things that I thought that inhibited construction business in this county. I can go across the border from my house in Kent, and I live a quarter mile from Dutchess. I don't need a license. I can build your house, I can build your foundation, I can build your chimney. I don't need a damn license. It got to the point in this county where we needed to be licensed to do everything, and initially it was meant to protect the homeowner. So what we're doing here, and I spoke to Sam about it, and a lot of my colleagues here came after we worked on this. It got so involved that the law department had to spend, I'm going to say almost 3 years, trying to make all our laws consistent so we could not be challenged. But what we're doing here, the electricians, there's a master plumber's license and a master's electrician's license, and then there's the home improvement license. You have a journeyman's license with the plumbers and the electricians. The electrician board, which is a bunch of volunteers, chose to keep the helper's license because it is actually the white collar or the blue collar trades. The plumbers didn't want it because the plumbers, you don't need it. It's another hindrance that you have to get to. You know, I know myself as a mason. Sometimes I'll have to pour a concrete floor, and I'll call up my sons or their friends, and I'll say, who's home from college, who's home from the military? I need a guy to grab a wheelbarrow and a shovel. And then to get them a license and all this other crap, it was crazy. When I go a quarter mile to the north, and I don't even need to have a license for myself as a contractor. So anyway, that's what this means.
Well, it provides flexibility. It provides flexibility for the contractor. And as far as the career path, as the journeyman and as the electricians, they accrue their time. So that time is reflected as they go for the further steps. This is not necessarily applicable. So it's just this particular segment that we have changed this evening. We are still working. The laws are very convoluted. They're very complicated. We're scoping out the laws very closely to see where the changes, like Chairman Ocker said, where it's applicable across the board for all the trades and where the changes have to be reflected.
And Ginny deserves an A+ for this because she grabbed this thing, and actually I was very impressed, Ginny, with what you did. You grabbed it and you comprehended it immediately. You're doing a wonderful, wonderful job with it.
I've learned a lot going to the plumbing board, the electrical board meetings, coming in not knowing too much about the trades. There was a lot to know, and I continue to try to attend those meetings because they are very interesting, and it is good to have some knowledge, especially when we are voting on a law and how it affects the law that we're voting on.
And Jean Marie Noel, the Consumer Affairs Director, is doing a great job with this. And I just want to see if I'm getting this to the public correctly. See, we live in a county where people, we're not all union workers, and a lot of our contractors are not union contractors. If employees belong to a union, their hours are documented as a journeyman or an apprentice. So when it comes time for them, if they want to just leave the union and become a self-employed contractor, they have documented hours. I think, Ginny, and correct me if I'm wrong, our problem here was you had a kid that graduated from one of our local high schools, and he worked for, Ritchie Alpha Electric Company for 10 years. And all of a sudden, the kid wanted to start his own business, and I never documented his hours because I didn't want him to leave or be my competition. And that's what was happening here. So we're working on where they keep their W-2s, they register with our county consumer affairs. And it's really a non-union workers issue. Am I right, Ginny?
Somewhat, yes, it is.
You're supposed to say yes.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. But it is important to have that documentation in place and for it to be accurate. And it does speak to the competition amongst each other. And we're trying to, make it open and also transparent in the trades itself, because we don't want those few dictating and hindering people who are choosing these career paths.
Okay, Jenny?
No.
Good? I got you? Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ginny, for doing that.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Protective Services is Roger Gross, Chairman. Roger.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of Legislator LeBlue and Legislator Algario, the Protective Services Committee asked for approval of a fund transfer 13T165, the Sheriff's Department's purchase of a vehicle for the Corrections Division. This is a 2013 Dodge Charger. It's fully equipped for a police vehicle, and it's no impact on funds. It's a grant that's been received and used for this vehicle. It's an unmarked vehicle to be used by corrections.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next we go over to Joseph. The Audit Administration Committee, led by Chairman Joseph Castellano from the town of Southeast.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of legislators Albano and Nazareno, I'd like to introduce the following items to the full ledger. Item 5O is the approval authorization for legislators to attend the September New York State Association of Counties Fall Seminar.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item 5P is the approval of budgetary amendment for the Office of Aging to purchase 2 vehicles for a medical transportation program. This was this is incoming money of $47,000, which we're going to use to purchase a vehicle at the request of Joan Liddell. So it's $47,000 incoming money, 0 fiscal impact, and I'd like to move it forward.
Discussion. In favor?
Aye.
Okay, 5Q is the approval of a lockout, tagout policy for Putnam County. This has to do with the safety program that we're trying to implement and make sure it's a county-wide policy. This has no fiscal impact whatsoever. It's just a new policy that we're putting in place.
Discussion. In favor?
Aye. Okay, 5R is the approval of a creation of the position of a safety officer for Putnam County, as discussed in the audit committee last week. This is, we're going to put this out for an exam. We're looking for an employee, a person to take up the position in Putnam County as a safety officer. They'll go visit all the county sites, make sure everybody's following the correct rules, and providing a safe work environment for all county employees and the individuals around these job sites.
Discussion? In favor?
Aye.
Okay, 5S is the approval of budgetary amendment from the county attorney's office providing funding for the new position of safety officer we just approved. This is money coming out of contingency in the amount of $26,337 to fund the position to the end of the year. The position is going out for an exam. They could certainly hire someone prior to the exam, but it would be up to the county attorney's office there. If the money doesn't get used, if we don't have someone in the position, certainly some of this money will be refunded back to us, but we're putting the money in place in the event somebody gets hired, but certainly we need this position to be filled as soon as possible. So I'd like to put it forward.
Discussion, Sam.
Very quick, Joe, when is the exam? Do we know when that's going to begin?
I think it was
Next
said in
month?
October, yeah, they had put it out already.
Okay, thank you.
And usually it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get results back, so I did ask the question of could they hire someone in advance. Apparently they don't have anybody in mind at the time being, but it's certainly possible. And once that person gets appointed, they'd have to be top 3 in the exam to keep keep the job.
Yeah, okay.
Any other discussion? In favor?
Aye.
Okay, 5T is the approval of budgetary amendment for the Sheriff's Department, use of T Commission funds, purchase overhead doors for the Nelsonville substation. It's a zero fiscal impact. We're moving some money around to fix some facility issues, I guess, broken doors. So it's only $4,690. We're just putting it in the right place. It's certainly incoming money from this inmate T Commission use fund. So we should
Discussion?
discuss.
In favor?
Aye.
Okay, 5U. This is the approval of a budgetary amendment for the Commissioner of Health for the elimination of nutritionist 1 SS position with WIC program. This was reviewed in 2 committees and certainly moved forward to the full, but only recently has there been a few more questions that have come forward, and we're short a couple of members today. The chairman of personnel was asked a couple of questions. I guess we haven't had the proper answers yet, and unfortunately he's not here to answer them for us tonight. So with that being said, I want to make a motion to move this over back to the Personnel Committee.
Second.
Okay, go ahead. Good.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, with that is going to be this, 5V, it's the approval of a fund transfer for the Commissioner of Highways and Facilities for temporary line. This again is to move some money around to cover the cost of a temporary employee.
I think it's to fill for retirement purposes. I believe that's a requirement.
But we are covering a temporary line.
Right.
Are we not?
Yes,
Discussion?
due to
Right.
retirement.
Due to
All in
retirement.
favor?
Aye.
Okay. 5W is the approval of a contract for an outside auditor. Certainly, as we have discussed over the last month or so about hiring an auditor, the contract was up this year, and we put out a request for proposals recently. We got 6 proposals sent to us, of which we narrowed it down to 3 companies located throughout New York State. We had a group of 6 that oversee the application process, and we wound up interviewing 3 of the finalists. With that, we narrowed it down to 2. After discussions with the legislators and with the committee that was reviewing all the proposals, I'm going to make a motion to submit for O'Connor's Davies, one of our former auditors in years past. They came up with a very fair proposal. One of the benefits of having them is they're a local company. They're out of Harrison, New York. The previous auditors did a fantastic job, and we'd like to thank them for that. And with that, I'm going to make this motion to approve the new auditors of O'Connor's Davies LLP for the next 5-year contract. It's got an option for 2 more years after the 5th year, which we'll certainly discuss at a later date. But for now, it would be a 5-year contract for 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. And I'd like to move that forward. Is there any discussion?
Discussion? I'd like to say quickly, Joe did a great job on this. We basically handed Joe this project. He did the interviews with our other people in the Michelle and Joe, and you guys did a really good job, and your reasons were very logical, and they were financially sound, and I think we all agree with you. So, anyway, motion. All in favor?
Aye. Okay, 5X is the approval of litigation settlement, Watts versus Putnam County. As this was discussed previously in executive session, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mr. Chair.
we do not have, Joe, thank you very much, good job. We do not have any other business, right, Diane, I have nothing here. Okay, recognition of the public, any members of the public would like to speak? Mr. Colorado.
You approved the leases for the veterans residents, and I want to thank you for doing that, the renewal of leases. But I have a sad thing to report. We have one less lease that will be signed this year because last week, one of the original tenants, one of the 10 original tenants that have been with us since we built this veterans residence, George Cassandi, World War II naval veteran, passed away. We were very sad to lose George. He's been sick for quite a while. He loved the veterans residence. He was a really good guy. I couldn't ever met him. So I would ask if at the conclusion of the meeting, if we have a moment of silence in George's memory. And I invite any of you to contact my office that will not been on a tour of the veterans residence. So we did go to a tour of it. We see what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Any other people from the public? Okay. Recognition of legislators. Deanie, actually, I'm going to ask you tonight. You asked Deanie LeBouf from Hopac is going to close the meeting on someone from her district that passed away. And Deanie, I would ask you to include Carl's person together. We'll do it mutually. So I will go, Joe, and I'll go around this way. And any.
Well, the one event I wanted to mention to everyone that's coming up in the Village of Brewster is Founders Day on September 15. It's a great event on Main Street there, and just want to put it out there. I hope everybody can stop by, and let's hope for some good weather. Last year was a beautiful day, and a ton of people showed up, and I think it's going to be another great day for the Village of Brewster.
Thank you, Joe. Roger.
Just month of October is where we start looking at the budget and making decisions about where we're going to go for 2014, so it'll be a very important month for all the meetings that come by. Thank you.
Judy.
Just want to make mention that Patterson Community Day is this Saturday, September 7th. It's always a successful event in the town of Patterson. I'd also like to wish all the children a safe and successful school year.
Thanks, Sam.
And to all our Jewish residents, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, coming up in best during those very high holy days. Also, Town Day in Putnam Valley, September 22nd, that's Saturday. It begins at 1 in the afternoon. We do a parade from 12 to 1, and that's pretty cool because we get out to the valley, the western side. Also, Glenn Neese, our resident maple farmer, he's on Wickapee Road on October 12th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's Saturday morning. He's going to serve a buffet breakfast using his own maple syrup, his own honey that this guy produces, and he's famous throughout the country. He has a web page and everything. Neese's Maple Farm. Betsy free, $8 for family members. It's really cool. I've been to this a couple of times, and Glenn's a great guy. If you can make it out there, Wickapee Road, October 12th.
Spotlight's on you, Barbara.
I would like to announce that Medication Take-Back Day in Cold Spring on September 21st. And working with the health department, they listened to my concerns that we had a very successful Take-Back Day over in this part of the county, that we needed one on my side. And he is, thank you very much, Dr. Beals, for considering that. As you know, I've been very concerned about pharmaceuticals getting into our drinking water, and this is a good way to keep that out of our water. So please come. You can take the trip over if you have anything in your cabinet. So Let's see, it's no syringes, of course, but any old prescriptions, it could be pet medication, your grandmother's medication, anything that you don't want in your home anymore, bring over to us. And it's going to be at the American Legion Hall on Cedar Street in Cold Spring. Thanks.
Okay,
From
that leaves me and
9 to
I'll-
12.
I'm sorry.
Carl.
Before we go, Deanie, I have to say something, and I'll turn the meeting to Deanie. 9/11's coming up. Before our next meeting, everyone remember what happened to us that day. I lost a lot of friends that day personally, and let's not ever forget it. And I think we should all say a prayer for Congress and the President with what's going on in Syria, because I'll tell you, I don't know what the hell to do with this situation. I wouldn't want to be the President in this choice, but when I saw the photos of those little kids getting hit with nerve gas, it was a horror. So our leaders in Washington have a very, very hard decision to make, and I know I wouldn't want to be one of them right now. It's really hard. So keep our leaders in their prayers, and our country and our servicemen, because if we make a commitment there, it's going to be our kids and our nephews and our grandkids are going to be boots on the ground there. So with that, I'll leave it at Deanie. And Carl, I apologize. The World War II veteran that passed away, what was his name?
George Casani.
George Casani. And Deanie,
Gassanti, I'd like to close our, what is it? Oh, Gassanti, okay. I'd like
not
to-
George Costanza from Seinfeld.
Don't
George
screw me
Costanza.
up, George.
I'm sorry, I don't.
I'd like to close our meeting this evening in honor of two people that passed away, distinguished veteran George Gassanti. And also, we lost a local legend, Sally Peacock, passed away in the town of Mailpack. She was the town of Carmel accountant for over 67 years. She was a gem. So I'd like to have a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Deanie. Okay,
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Sam, this is a very peaceful meeting. Next month is going to be like, like American Gladiators. So, the budget meeting. So anyway, a motion to adjourn.
Good night.
Very good.
Thank you.